And it was like $3,000 to have an extra ice machine put in. But I thought we'd use it because we'd entertained a lot. We don't own that house anymore, so somebody else got that. But I've always wanted to have a separate ice maker, and thanks to improvements, we have that now. This has been hugely, hugely successful here at the network. This is the one that will make 26 pounds of ice in a day. You know, you get a 5-pound, 10-pound bag of ice, right? And you go back to the store, Wouldn't it be nice if you could make it? And you just put ordinary water in here. If you want to put bottled water in here, it's fine. You pour it right in. It starts making ice immediately. Now, I have two color choices for you. They're both in the purple family. Let me get Rebecca Wood out so she can explain which purple is which.
I thought you might need a drink after all that tasty food.
After all my talking.
Looks so good.
One is actually blue and one is purple, yes. Even though to me, because maybe I'm a little colorblind, they both look sort of purple. They do.
No, and I want you to know when you get this home, if you were to pick the blue, which is this one right here, this one's the blue. If you were to pick the blue, it does have purple undertones, so it's more like a blueberry or an eggplant.
I love the colors.
I do too. They're beautiful, deep, rich blue though. This will be blue, and this is purple, so the lighter color is purple.
So how easy is this? I mean, come on.
How you plug it in. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You take it out of the box, you plug it into a standard outlet, and that's it. No drain, no water line needed. Tap water if you like, that's what I use. And then it's gonna start making ice in 7 minutes. The other refrigerator ice maker, 3.5 hours for a tray of ice. Yeah. This is gonna churn out ice in 7 minutes. How much ice? Take a look at this. This is how much ice in 24 hours that you could make. Look at that. Look at that. It is so full. Can you see that?
Yeah,
that is enough for your...
So a full cooler of ice.
26 pounds, exactly.
Yeah, that's 2.5 big bags of ice every single day. And if ever you needed ice, it's the summertime. You know, it's gotten so hot here in Florida.
Oh my gosh.
It's getting hot everywhere now.
Yeah, but it is.
And the problem is you go through ice on a regular basis, right? But even moreover, when you decide you want to entertain, when you're having a cookout, you could put this right outside. Just plug it into your outside outlet and just have it running. And all you gotta do is just dump water in it and it'll make ice so your friends don't have to interrupt themselves. Oh, I'll go get you a bag of ice. You never have to worry about that. And it makes ice so much faster than your traditional refrigerator machine. And you know, do you know that a refrigerator ice machine, the little tiny unit that's in there is like $180?
Yeah, you know how I know that?
And another $100 to install. It's like $300 because I've gone through mine.
Mine 3 times.
I've gone through at least probably 4 times.
And every time.
Every 2 years.
It's the water line that freezes, right? Yeah. That's it. And look at how beautiful this is gonna be because here's what we do at Improvements.
Oh, it's fancy looking.
It is so beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've had that stainless steel outer casing. So it's a stainless steel outer casing and it is also the smallest footprint that we've had. You can see it's churning out ice right here. And here's what happens. You see the little piston system? Yeah, you do, you chew it. And I have to yell at you every single time.
Dentist tells me not to chew ice.
Like, me and your dentist, we're on the same page.
I don't tell you what to do.
Anyway. So it's gonna dump that ice into the tray and then it's gonna go back making that next tray of ice. We had a great shot of the piston system. One of the other things that we love, this is my favorite ice maker that we've ever had because you're gonna have small ice and then we have the large ice too. I think I might have that backwards. Small ice and the large ice. Yeah. And then what happens is the large ice is gonna be perfect for your mixed drinks. Right. So anything that you don't want to melt, the small ice.
These might all be on the same size ice. They're looking the same to me, but that's all right. You do have 2 different sizes.
I do have. I promise you can have 2 different sizes.
Here's the key to this thing. That you'll notice that the ice has a very slightly hollowed out center. There's a reason for that. One, that's why it makes ice so fast because the actual cooling rod is inside, so it freezes basically 360 degrees around it. And that's why it works so fast versus a solid cube, which is gonna take forever. And to be honest, I like this ice better. This reminds me of the pellet ice that they serve. There's a very famous drive-through that's around today.
We all love it, yes.
And they have the little pellet ice, and I will tell you, it makes your drink so cold. But I love, and I am a chewer, so I love to chew it, but I love lots of ice packed into a small place rather than just 1 or 2 big cubes.
Yes.
I just think it makes it colder and more refreshing, and that's what I love about this ice. Great ice for drinks.
It tastes
Right?
great. You're not supposed to taste your ice, right? And that's what this does. The reason why it's all made in this one self-contained unit instead of in your freezer where it's picking up whatever you made for dinner last
most
night.
people's ice tastes like crap?
I agree. I taste onion,
it's early
right?
for the word crap, but you know what I'm talking
tastes like,
about.
I say funky.
Or it tastes like
ice.
frozen food.
Yeah,
You know, like that
freeze-dried.
freeze-dried, you know that freezer smell taste that you kind of get with certain things? It's like uncooked food is what it's like, and that's because ice will absorb.
See how it's churning out ice?
Yeah,
Every single one of them goes and goes and goes.
I can hear it going.
Favorite story with this is Amanda in culinary, one of my favorite people ever. When she was pregnant, she only had one craving, and it was ice from this ice maker because it was so refreshing.
I love that the ice just keeps going and going and going. And then it fills up in this little tray in the front, okay? It has like a little depositing system. And once this is full, you can either put it aside and you can, have it as extra ice, or you can just leave it in here. Remember one thing though, this is not a refrigerated unit. So if you leave this outside, your ice is gonna melt. So don't worry about that. You're gonna be going through it so fast, you're not gonna have that issue. But I love bringing this to a party, filling it with water, closing the lid, and just people come up and they're like, is that a cooler? And then they open it, they're like, don't tell me you own an ice machine. And I'm like, yeah, it's a freaking ice machine.
And a beautiful
Put a
one
little
at
window
that.
so you can even watch what's happening.
I love how portable it is too, because remember, we're talking about parties, we're talking about get-togethers, we're also talking about tailgating, talking about bringing this up to the cabin with you, out on the boat with you. We're talking about actually taking it and plugging it into the back of your car, because all you need is a adapter. That's what I did when the hurricane hit. I was able to make ice out of the back of my car when I couldn't find it anywhere
that's cool.
else.
You bought the little adapter.
A little adapter, and I could just plug it into the back,
really
and I was
cool.
able to make ice anywhere. Couple questions we always get: how loud is it? So just for a second, I'm going to see if you can hear. It's whisper, whisper soft. It just sounds like a soft little fan.
That's what
That's
it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then what is the maintenance? The only maintenance is if you are at the end of the party or end of the get-together and there's some water left in, there's a little drain, put it over the sink, pull the drain plug, let it drain out. That's it. There's no filters to rebuy and replace. There's nothing else that you have to do. It is really a self-contained unit.
Parties, barbecues, cookouts. Maybe you're doing something at your church and you're thinking, boy, it sure would be nice to just pour water in this thing and have ice made throughout the party. The convenience of it is ridiculous. And the styling is perfect. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It only weighs about 17 pounds, the unit itself, so it's easy to put into the car. I will guarantee that most of your coolers, when they're packed with food, probably weigh about 30 to 40 pounds, so don't worry about that. And the drinks that it makes, when you're making frozen drinks, and I'm glad Rebecca's doing this demo, there's something about this ice that it almost makes it feel like it's creamy.
It does. That's my favorite way to describe it.
Yeah.
People think you're crazy. We're talking about parties, we're talking about get-togethers, but remember, because it makes ice every 7 minutes, you're gonna pop it on in the morning and you're gonna make delicious tasting smoothies, protein smoothies, whatever you want to enjoy.
Yum.
And it does taste like it is creamy. Why? Because there are no impurities in there.
Right.
You're just tasting it, and it was gonna grind to a creamy consistency, especially if you're using that small ice cube. Oh, we need to get some juice in there. So you can see all I have is some ice, some frozen fruit, whatever your favorite frozen fruit is, some OJ, that's it. No cream, but wait till you see it. It looks like it's ice cream. So I'm gonna turn it on. If I can get it going, there we go. So what was that? That would be 7 minutes and 10 seconds? Yeah. That's all I had to do. And wait till you see this. It tastes delicious. So, you know what? On a Friday night, put some rum in there. In the mornings, why don't you put some little protein smoothie in there? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Said wait till Friday. What does Friday mean?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, 5 a.m., but hey.
We're in the TV business. There's no week. There's no week. Every day is
You are
every
right.
day. Look at how beautiful. And I am telling you, you guys will absolutely love the drinks that come out of it. I think more than anything else, it always seemed to me like, that having an extra ice machine is kind of an indulgence, but it's not. At $129, this is what we call our feature price. They actually took $30 off for host pick. They're doing free shipping, and I know this thing is like $15 or $20 to ship. So You don't have to pay shipping today, so get yourself an ice maker. You're gonna love it. You'll have it for your picnics, for your parties, for your barbecues. How great would it be if the kids are outside and they're not tracking in and out of the house to get ice for their drinks? They're just outside grabbing ice out of this little machine. And once in a while, you have to pour water in it. Can we show everybody how to do that?
So remember, you're gonna take it out of the box and you're gonna plug it in. That's all you need to do. You can see you pour water right through the tray if there's no ice in there. If there's some ice there, you can remove that tray. And then you just make your selections. On-off button, you have that LED screen right there, and then it will tell you when the ice is full. It tells you when you need to empty the ice, and then it will also let you decide if you want small ice or large ice. And like you said, that ice technology behind this is brilliant because of that little piston that we use to make it flash freeze it. There's less impurities, but it also gives you more surface of the ice.
How long does it actually take to make a cycle of ice in this thing?
7 minutes.
That's it.
7 minutes. So let me tell you.
And you'll be amazed at how fast that happens. Like you'll be sitting there talking to somebody and you'll be like, that thing made more ice. It just keeps making ice throughout the day till it runs out of water.
Till it runs out of water, and it even tells you when it runs out of water. How great is that? And we have that little peekaboo window so you can see where it is in the ice making process as well. But this gives you more surface of the ice. Do you see that little indentation? But because it's still, you're chewing ice, Guy.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna call your dentist. That's what I'm gonna do. Every time.
Chewing ice.
He loves chewing
I don't do it all the time, only when it's in a glass and I have to drink.
Or it's in front of me.
No, it is great stuff. And you know what I love too is that, as I said, there's a consistency to this type of ice that I absolutely love. And the size I love. I actually like the smaller cubes because I would rather have a glass packed with ice and have my drink in there like that. Like especially if you're drinking like like hard
whiskey
alcohol or scotch.
That's the large. You're gonna want the large for that because it's gonna melt very slowly.
The little clanky noise it makes.
Oh, it sounds good right now. It does. And then when if you have that hunter or the fisherman for Father's Day coming up, the boaters, they're gonna love this because look at what it's going to create in 24 hours. 26 pounds of ice. So when they're going out and they're doing their fishing, they're gonna be able to have enough to put everything they get. But guess what? Here's a little secret. When they're not on those trips, you get to use it at home. So it's a win-win.
Think about, 26 pounds of ice every single day.
Your best friend. Hey, what can I bring to the party? Your ice maker. That's what they're going to tell you.
Even if you know you're having a party a few days ahead of time, then just start making ice, right? If you've got a freezer and you can store bags of ice, then start making ice. We could make your own. I mean, in 3 days, you're making, 70 some odd pounds of ice.
Yes, and you could throw these.
80 pounds of ice in 3 days. That's enough for any party, and you don't have to go and spend, $7, $8, $10 every time you need to get ice. Just use that. Yeah, and do they even make that anymore?
They do, especially if you're like to have a cabin or a condo.
That's like, you got this from like the 50s.
I got it on some auction. No, just kidding.
No, isn't it funny?
Do you know how long this takes if you are still using these? Because remember, this is portable. It's only about 17 pounds. So take this with you to your cabin, your boat, wherever you're still using these, dorm rooms, anything. Yeah. This takes you 6 hours. RV, perfect for an RV.
If you're traveling.
6 hours for this. Your refrigerator ice maker's 3.5 hours. 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
It's brilliant. I'm so glad that we brought it here to HSN. It's about, and this is one of those items that's been here for a couple of years because it's so popular. We always say it gets popular in summer. This thing is popular all year long because you know what? When you're having holiday parties, when you're having, a Halloween get-together, you've got the extra ice when you need it. Come Christmas time, all that time. And then throughout the summer for all your frozen drinks and all your sodas and your beverages, your lemonade, your iced tea, your scotch on the rocks, you are good to go. It's $25.99 on your credit card. And it is free shipping and handling as well. And this is an exclusive offer that we only have right here. Great job. You gonna save me something?
Iced coffee?
Save me something. Yeah, maybe that. Is that the iced coffee?
This is iced tea. Here's iced coffee.
Save me that too.
Which one do you want?
I'll take the tea.
Okay.
All right, stick around. More host pick right after this. Cheers.